Hello, everyone. David Coleman, Director of the Wittliff Collections at Texas State University, and welcome back to Wittliff Wednesdays. Texas recently lost one of its great musicians and great characters in Jerry Jeff Walker. Jerry Jeff and his wife Susan have been friends and supporters of the Wittliff Collections from the very beginning of the Wittliff back in the late 1980s. We last saw them here a couple of years ago after Jerry Jeff donated his archives to us, and we put together a large exhibition celebrating his great career. We will miss him a lot, but we're proud to be the home of his archives and to be able to share his unique legacy. To tell you more about Jerry Jeff and his archives, here is Hector Saldana, our Texas music curator.
Thank you, David. At the Wittliff Collections, Jerry Jeff Walker was family. And once again, I want to extend our deepest condolences to his wife, Susan, and his children, Jesse Jane and Django. Jerry Jeff will always hold a very special place in my heart. The story of his life was the very first exhibition I ever staged. Viva Jerry Jeff was an origin story, and that's what I wanted to get at. I wanted to get at telling the story of this young man and how he became this Texas icon. I learned that a lot of Jerry Jeff's story is one about being eternally curious, of being determined. And a lot of his early days were one of searching. A lot of people may not realize that when he left New York as a young man, he took almost nothing with him except a Martin baritone ukulele, a few satchel of notes, and that was about it. Jerry Jeff Walker in the early 1960s was a folk singer, straight up. One of the things that makes Jerry Jeff Walker so universal is his connection to the everyday man. He saw humanity in them, and he was able to bring that humanity out in his songwriting. It was in that time in New Orleans that he was famously arrested and spent time with a man who we would later know is Bojangles. He would start to work on that song and the melody for it sometime after the summer of 1966. We know that because Jerry Jeff Walker said that the music for that song was inspired by a song that Paul McCartney had written for the Beatles album Revolver called For No One. So the early days of Jerry Jeff Walker leads to perhaps his greatest song, the song that he will always be known for. There were still years before he would become that Texas icon. His origin story is part of that big bang of Texas music that included songwriters that Jerry Jeff Walker loved. Jerry Jeff was so open to material by other people. He was very selfless in that way. I set up a display case with some items that help sort of at least capture some of the spirit of the man. Included in that case is one of his favorite hats from the 1970s. So is the Martin ukulele, the one that he played on his visits to the Wittliff Collections. In the case, and rarely seen, at least for the general public, are a couple of boxes of the actual tapes of Viva Terlingua. I think visitors to the Wittliff Collections will enjoy it and walk away that they know at least a little bit more about the man and also about the collections that we have here at the Wittliff.